Sir, good evening, sir.
Mohan, good evening.
Sir, இப்போ இன்னைக்கு யார் சார்?
ஐயா, இன்னைக்கு நான் தான்.
ஓ, நீங்க தானா சார்?
வர 2 நாளைக்கு நான் தான்.
ஓகே சார், நீங்க தான் பிரசன்ட் பண்ணீங்க.
இடையில இந்த பிரேக் டவுன் பண்ணுவோம், குரூப் பிரேக் டவுன்.
சரிங்க சார்.
அந்த சமயத்துல திரும்பி வரும்போது இந்த மைக்ஸ் கொஞ்சம் அன்மியூட் பண்ணி விடணும்.
பண்ணி விடலாம் சார். என்ன டைம்னு சொல்லுங்க சார், அந்த டைமிங் பண்ணி விட்றேன்.
நான் சொல்றேன் என்ன டைம்க்கு வரும் தெரியாது. அரௌண்ட் ஒரு 6:30 அந்த மாதிரி டைம்ல.
ஓகே சார். இல்ல என் கையிலே தான் இருக்கும் போன். நான் பக்கத்துலயே தான் உட்கார்ந்திருப்பேன். நீங்க சொல்லுங்க, பண்ணிடலாம் சார்.
Okay.
Yes sir, thank you sir.
All right, thank you.
Sir,
He is a specialist in REBT and has worked with esteemed hospitals like Holy Cross Hospital and St. Elizabeth's Hospital. As a professor and head of Department of Counselling Psychology at St. Joseph's College, Dr. Balaya has nurtured psychological healing and development of students, staff, parents over the past 18 years. At St. Joseph's College, Trichy, Dr. Balaya introduced the formal mentoring program and created a workbook, Mentoring Through the Year. He also pioneered soft training for each the college experience. Dr. Balaya is a highly productive author, having co-authored books like Winners in the Making and Straight from the Trades, as well as publishing articles on dynamics of healing in the Search National Newsletter, Chennai. As a consultant psychologist, Dr. Balaya has worked with Karunya Hospital, TMCH, and Ayachi, New Delhi. He is also a highly desired resource person for various seminars and workshops, including those on mentoring, leadership, counseling skills, and soft skills. Please join me in welcoming Dr. A. John Balaya, a distinguished expert in counseling psychology. We welcome you, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sugandhi, for the long introduction. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to invite you today to reflect on the skill of self-disclosure. I would like the participants to turn on your videos because I don't like to be talking to the screen. I want some people on the screen so that it becomes lively and it becomes interesting. Like, very good. And thank you very much. Now, what do you mean by skill? All of us have skills. All human beings have skills. And all human beings, in one or the other way, we are all helpers. We help each other. We help friends, family, strangers, and whoever comes into our lives. But there is a difference between helpers and skilled helpers. For example, in the field of counseling, you go to the police station, there are the police officers giving counseling to the clients. And you go to the schools, teachers are giving counseling and guidance to the students. Peers, they are giving counseling and guidance to their classmates. Social workers, they give counseling and guidance to the people. And everybody gives guidance and help to the people. But then there is a difference. The difference between helpers and skilled helpers. We are called as skilled helpers because yesterday and day before yesterday, We have been listening to Ma'am Jasmine about some of the skills that are required for a counselor, like attending skills, listening skills, probing skills, reflection skills. These are all the skills meant for each and every one of us in the field of counseling, so that our profession becomes effective. Skills are not to be taught, people say. Skills have to be caught. It comes only by practice. We keep on practicing, and practicing. Then will we master the skills. Like, in fact, when we become skilled helpers, skilled counselors, skilled psychologists, skilled psychiatrists, we have power. So what is that power? It's a learned power. There is one thing that um, makes us feel so proud, because we have the power. The educated people have the power. What is that power? Power of knowledge, power of the skills, power of the techniques, and power of experiences. No one can compete when it comes to the learned power in the field of education. So when we talk about skills, it could mean many things. It could mean level of competence, our ability, our capacity. It could mean many things, like, so the level of competence in interpersonal skills. Skills should be spoken in the context of social situations, social settings. We are all social beings. Like, all our skills become meaningful in social settings, and all our skills become all the more meaningful in our interpersonal living. And people who have skills in interpersonal life, they grow a lot better than people who do not possess these interpersonal skills. In fact, what determines the success and failure in human relationships? It's those skills that we have been talking about from the day for yesterday. Attending skills, listening skills, your probing skills, mirroring skills. And today we are going to talk about the skill of self-disclosure. What does it mean? How do I make myself known to others? In fact, I wanted to introduce myself, but then my professors came to me, sir, we would like to introduce you. All right, why? Okay, don't keep it too long, but then keep it appropriate. My profile runs into 4 pages, but this is not the appropriate time to read everything about my profile. Like, so what is that appropriate self-disclosures? So in fact, skills determine the characteristic success and failure in human relationships. Abraham Maslow, the humanistic psychologist, everybody knows about him, about the hierarchy of needs. What he says about interpersonal skills, he says, as instruments enabling you to satisfy a number of human needs. Instruments are made use by human beings for what? It's so interesting, like, to satisfy a number of human needs. What kind of human needs that Abraham Maslow is talking about, like. So when he goes on to say, in order to grow, one must satisfy a variety of human needs. And therefore, we need skills. Without skills, we cannot satisfy our human needs. Now, why these interpersonal skills are required for counselors? That's an interesting question, like, because we want to feel safe and we want to make others safe, others in the sense, the clients who come to us. And we want to make them, feel safe and comfortable in all interpersonal relationships and transactions. Like, see, clients, come to us, trusting us. What is the trust? Trust is nothing but the dependability. They depend on us, they rely on us, and they come to us. So when we use these skills, our trust is enhanced. Now, when we need these skills, having good time with others, fun, pleasure, and self gratifications. And we are supposed to use these skills not for gossiping, but to protect the reputation of others. People if there are good friends, they would always protect whatever may be the circumstances. Like, they wouldn't entertain gossiping. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if there are people who gossip with us, you can be 100% sure they will also gossip about us when we are not present. So interpersonal skills are not meant for the gossiping, but to protect the reputation of others. Do human of human service to protect the reputation of others, and it helps us maintain confidentiality. One of the pillars of counseling, one of the pillars of a professional counselor, maintaining confidentiality and desiring interpersonal peace at any price. See, we don't want to unnecessarily get into the situations where we have to challenge people, we have to confront people, and we have to fight with people, and we have to fight with people. No, we don't need like. We need to have these interpersonal skills so that we experience peace at any price. So interpersonal skills are very useful to us. And it helps us to have many friends and acquaintances. Many times we see, I have come across a lot of, parents, coming in, telling me, sir, my children, they do not have friends in their class. They feel very lonely. Could you help them to make friends with others? Like, interpersonal skills. Probably they do not have interpersonal skills. They do not have some of the dimensions that I have been talking about, like, and they are very strangers. They may be in a classroom, but then still they can feel lonely in the classroom. They may not have acquaintances. Like, people, we live in the neighborhood, but then we don't talk to each other and we don't maintain a good relationship. Why? Why? Because people lack, skills. Give an example. I walk on campus. There are students, coming in the opposite direction. They know me, but even then they ignore me and go. So what does that mean? They're not purposely ignoring me, but they do not have that interpersonal skills to look at me, greet me, or communicate with me. So it's all comes to the simple fact that people need to develop interpersonal skills. Now we need these skills um, because it helps us to take pain to understand others from others point of view. I'll be talking about empathy maybe the day after tomorrow, the skill of empathy the day after tomorrow. It takes pain to understand others. Many of the fights that people have because we fail to understand others, like fights in the families. Some many times the father telling the mother, understand the children. Many times there's a wife telling the husband, understand me, please understand me. Sometimes they do talk at the top of their voice. Why do they talk at the top of their voice? The psychology is what they're saying. Hey, listen to me. When I talk to you in a softer tone, you're not listening. And at least when I'm shouting at you, you listen to me. The moment you listen to them, the moment you give them the feeling that you understand them, they will stop, shouting at you. This is very simple technique. When people shout at you, well, instead of shouting back at them, you just maintain peace and just listen to them. They will come down. So there is no question of fighting with people who are prone to fight. So these are all some of the significant points that we need to keep in mind. Why do we need to develop interpersonal skills? Now, Abraham Maslow once again talks about, when he talks about needs, he says, not only he says, many of the psychologists would say, like, what is the origin of neurosis? What is neurosis? The uncomfortable situation. What is an uncomfortable situation? People are not present. People are not in touch with the reality of life. So that brings neurosis in their lives. Now he says the origin of neurosis is what? Is a certain dissatisfaction which is called as needs. I said in my previous slide, you need interpersonal skills to satisfy our needs. And when we do not have these interpersonal skills, we cannot satisfy our needs. So therefore, we need interpersonal skills. When we don't satisfy our interpersonal skills, so what happens? We develop neurosis. We become uncomfortable with situations, society, people, friends, family, classmates, everywhere. And we begin to live in a different world. That's because we have begun to develop neurosis in their lives, neurosis in our lives. Like, for example, he says, why and how interpersonal skills are so vital in human, in fulfilling the human needs is there. He gives an example like water and amino acids. What is it? Amino acids? Fundamental building blocks of proteins that are used by all living beings. They're all needs. We need them. If we do not have water and amino acids, we perish. So their absence produces illness and maladjustment. So in the same way, Freud would say, he would talk about two important concepts. What are the two important concepts? Gratification and deprivation. When the mother gratifies the needs of the child moves to the next stage. When the mother deprives the needs of the child is fixated. So the same way. So when the child is fixated, what happens? There begins the origin of neurosis. The child becomes uncomfortable. We become uncomfortable, and the society becomes uncomfortable. Now, Abraham Maslow, we talk about three types of needs. Very important, because I'll be coming back to you when we talk about the skill of emotions and feelings. We will refer to D needs, M needs, and B needs. So in the next 3 days, or 4 days, I'll be referring back to all these needs. What is this deficiency, lack? What is that? What is lacking? Basically, everybody wants to have a sense of belongingness, an identification for close love relationships, and for respect and prestige. Is there anybody here like who doesn't want to have love relationships? Is there anybody here among us who doesn't need respect? We will look for prestige. It's only human needs. Like, now, what happens if such needs are not satisfied? They stand in the way of human growth. There we experience neurosis. What is this neurosis? Nothing but distressing emotions. When we experience distressing emotions, what happens? People experience depression. What is depression? Loss, disinterested in life, distress. Once again, symptom of neurosis. Possessiveness, symptom of neurosis. Anxiety, symptom of neurosis. Hostility, symptom of neurosis. Am I audible to you all? Christiba, am I audible to you? Am I audible to you, Sandhya? Yes? Nobody's, yeah. Chat. Am I audible? All right, fine. Okay. Got it, got you. Yes, yeah, got you. Fine, yeah. All right, so moving on to, so that's about, D needs, like deficiency needs, like. Then we have B needs. What are these B needs? Being needs. We come across, sometimes whose D needs, deficiency needs, have been satisfied, but still feel the drive for self-actualization. D needs have been satisfied. Deficiency needs have been satisfied, but still feels the drive for self-actualization. What is that self-actualization? I want to do my best. I want to reach the pinnacle of my, success. I want to reach the top. The drive, the motivation to reach the top line. 100%. I give 100% for everything. When I'm meeting somebody, I give 100%. When I'm talking to a teacher, I give 100%. When I'm an online class, I give 100%. Therefore, I'm asking all of you to come on the videos. Like, why? You are giving yourself 100%. You are self-actualizing. You are experiencing the concept of self-actualize here and now. Why do people, come to, counselors? Why do people go to, psychologists? Because they either live in the past or dream about the future. They're unable to live in the present. I used to tell my, students, who is a healthy person? A healthy person is the one who lives here and now. Presentia in presentia, not presentia in absence. See, physically and psychologically, you are, present. Miss Jasmine talked about solar. What is it, solar? It is not simply, physical attendance. It's a psychological attendance. Through our physical expressions, we tell the client, hey, psychologically, I am with you. I am, for example, solar. Yes, stand for sitting squarely. What does it mean? Hey, I am here for you. I am with you. I am open to you. Oh, open. My mind is open for you. My heart is open for you. My body is open for you. Yeah, lean forward. I'm interested to, listen to you. Eye contact, the apple of counseling. Eye contact. I'm here to look at you. I'm here to reflect what you are experiencing. And I'm here to not only relax, but also help you to feel relaxed. So this is what we mean by self-actualization. In every setting, we help the clients to self-actualize. And for that, we need skills. If we do not have the skills, definitely we cannot help the clients to self-actualize. So what is this? What is this being needs like? Be love. Martin Buber would say, I and thou in his book, I and thou. What is God for him? God for him is the other. And Christ would say in Christianity, love the other as you love yourself. Love for the other. That's being needs like. And being needs means that, I am an open person like. I don't want to, possess anybody and anything. Non-possessiveness. Unselfish. All my life, I give for the other. Now, who can give for the other? Who can care for the other? It's the people who can care for self can care for the other. But how do we care for the other? We care for the other as we care for self. So that is actually the meaning of self-actualization. being needs like. And then next comes, consistency in a behavior, dependable, trustworthiness. I already spoke to you about, what is, trustworthiness, dependability, reliability. You trust your mother and father. They're the most, trustworthy people like. Nobody, nobody else can, come, closer to them. Trustworthy. You can depend on them because you are part and parcel of them. And people with being needs, they experience minimum degree of anxiety and hostility. Whereas people with, deficiency needs, they will experience maximum degree of anxiety and hostility. And this is my philosophy of life. And this is my own spirituality of life. The last sentence. What is that last sentence? Be good and do good. That will make you good. That will make you a good, counselor. Be good and do good. So that's about B needs. Now we have M needs. What is that? M needs. Now here, so we have to distinguish between, we have already distinguished between deficiency needs and being needs. In deficiency needs, people have high degree of anxiety, possessiveness, and so on and so forth. Like, whereas in B needs, people do not have that high degree of possessiveness, anxiety, and so on and so forth. But here we have something different. Like, what is this? This type of, people may not be grappling with the D needs, but have not shown any serious intention to any significant pursuit of B values in life. They don't believe in being good. They don't believe in doing good. So what do? For them, relationships are not noticeably destructive, but neither growthful nor engaging. They're not destructive. They won't destroy people like. But then they will not grow also. They will not engage. Why? Because they do not have these skills, the skill of self-disclosure. See, if there is a relationship blossoming or blooming, there should be some starting point and there should be a point of continuing life. Somebody has to take the initiative. Somebody has to take the initiative. If someone takes the initiative, then there is, you're opening the door of relationship. When you open the door of relationship, you allow the breath, the air to reach the other person. Like, the other person, feels the cool breeze, coming to you because he or she has opened the door of relationship. So he responds to, he or she responds to you. So there is an engagement, and the relationship, grows. Then you begin to talk about yourself, and the other, begins to reveal about himself or herself. Right? Now, what is important is that in this type, they are very neutral. They are very neutral. If there are 100 people, according to me, 80% of the people are neutral. They may not say yes or no. They will remain neutral. One of the reasons why today is so much of corruption and injustice that are happening around us, it's because people are neutral. They do not take any stand in their life. Like, they're not doing any good to themselves. They're not doing any good to this society. They may talk about religious values. What do religious values supposed to do? Religious values, love, hope, charity, love, justice, peace, all these. They're supposed to, they're supposed to bring, people closer to human beings. The more you are closer to God, the better you should be closer to human beings. Like, the more you let yourself known to God, the better you should let yourself known to human beings. Neutral people, they are not interested in bringing people together. Neutral people, they are not interested in bringing people closer to them. But then they are neutral. How neutral? Neutral. And why they are neutral? They are very ritualistic. But then they something is holding them. They won't do wrong also, because when they do any wrong things, they are so scared. They'll be punished. They'll be caught and punished. So they will. They don't do any wrong things also. In the same way, neither they do good things also. They take very safe stand, like, and they have no involvement in the community activities. They have no involvement in the community activities. And interestingly, and they are called as the people psychopathology of the average. They said 80% of the people belong to this category, psychopathology. What is a psychopathology? Mental illness. Mental illness of the average. Average in the sense, the people, who are this type, maintenance type. Okay, moving on. So in maintenance type, high percentage of people exhaust an excessive amount of energy in M function. What is their M function? Keep life going. Chalta hai, jaane do. Jaane do. So there is no, but then they have a lot of energy. These people, they have a lot of energy. But they have no energy for B functions, being, doing good things. When they have no energy for B functions, there is no, growth, and it is immobile, and it is on a plateau. What is that, plateau? No progress, no change. They remain the same, like, they remain the same. Sometimes we see, people who we have seen in 20 years back, they remain the same in terms of their attitude, in terms of their aptitude, in terms of their psychology. Plateau. They are on a plateau, like, no progress, no change. So they are the victim of psychopathology of the average. Interpersonal skills enable, so the skill of self-disclosure, what happens? Interpersonal skills enable us to loosen up or unfreeze who is on a plateau, who is not progressing, who is not experiencing any change. Moving on. So I want to introduce you these three phase model. And now let's not enter into kind of psychological pervasive, in the sense, we may talk about psychology, we may go through the psychological testing and so on and so forth. All these talks, interpretations, and psychological testing and explanations will give some hints about where we are leading to, but we cannot brand them, label them as M type or B type or D type. Okay. So when it comes to self-disclosure, how do I make myself known to others? There are three types. M type, meaning people who have that M needs, maintenance needs. I said psychopathology of the average. They are under-disclosures and they are non-disclosures. It's very difficult to get anything from them. Like, they won't talk because of the fear of being known, because of the fear of intimacy, because of the fear of knowledge that I'll be coming to them. Like, they are non-disclosures. Like, okay. Sometimes any number of skills may not be of very useful with such people, but that's a challenge. That's a challenge. Like, the skills give us power. So basically, they listen and internalize. If you ask them any questions, they will be the last ones to come and answer you. They internalize. They take everything. Today I say something, and tomorrow somebody else comes to you and tells just the opposite of what I said to you today. So today he or she will put into practice what I told her. Tomorrow she will, put into practice what the other person is going. Maybe just the opposite of it. Internalization takes place. Very seldom externalization will take place. That doesn't mean this M type of people, they do not have energy. They have a lot of energy. They have a lot of energy for themselves. It's very interesting. We think, they are passive and they don't have life. No, they have a lot of life. They have a lot of life within themselves. They have a lot of life for themselves, not for others. And this is the type Carl Jung will talk about introverts. Like, yeah, I'm just giving some connections with the other psychologists also. Yeah, we have let me go to D type. D type, deficiency needs. Who are these deficiency needs? Over discloses. They may meet somebody and they may be so intimate with them. Like one time, a boy meets a girl, and that's enough. The next day, he's so much distracted. He keeps calling, he's messaging. One time it's over discloses. Like why? Anxiety. When people in this D type, they have a lot of anxiety. It's just the opposite of the M type. M type, they have a lot of energy for themselves. Now here, themselves to deal with anxiety within themselves. Like here, D type of people, they have a lot of energy to deal with the anxiety that arise from the outside sources. Anxiety. For example, you meet with an accident on the way to the college, and you are on the right side, and it was not your fault, maybe the fault of the person with whom you met with the accident. But the moment people gather, this person belonging to D type will keep justifying, I came on the right side and she came in the opposite direction, wrong side, and all these things. Why? To deal with anxiety, anxiety of over disclosures. Either M type or D type. They cannot relate to people in a consistent way. So they are also known as the extroverts. And we have B type. What is this B type? Disclosures. They disclose themselves, appropriately. In the M type, they listen to people. They don't, talk back. They don't respond. Whereas in D type, they talk. Whereas in B type, they listen. Hey, I listen to you. Then I respond. Listen, understand, perceive, and respond. And they are known as ambiverts. In Carl Jung psychology, we have introverts, ambiverts, and extroverts. And later on, Hans Esnick, comes and says, he adds, one more, omniverts. Who are the omniverts? The extreme types of M type and D type, the extreme type of introverts and extroverts. I think I'm running behind my schedule. I should have faster. Yeah. So what is this appropriate self-disclosure? Self-disclosure is a social skill that many people find it difficult to learn. The first step towards reintegration is self-disclosure. Make known yourself. People who make known themselves, people do not have so much of privacy and secrets. Their open window is large. They are open people and when people confess, when they talk about their dishonesty or irresponsibility and self-centeredness to responsible and significant others through appropriate self-disclosure, they become healthy personality. So what is important is that appropriate self-disclosure will help you to become a healthy personality, develop healthy personality. So disclosing, opening up, is always in the context of interpersonal relationship. Okay, Mr. Mohan. Yes. Yes, okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I'm going to, participants, we are going to break down into small groups. So we are going to break down into small groups. And so this is the activity that will be discussing for just 2 minutes. And you come back to me and report to me. So now what are you supposed to do? Activity number 1. So this is an activity on self-disclosure. Use the stem I am and finish it in 10 different ways. Like, for example, I've given you some examples. I am intelligent. I am fun loving. I am an ideologist. I am a sociologist. I am a responsible. I am loving, and so on and so forth. Like, so we are going to break um, break the groups. Let me stop sharing and come back to the breakdown groups. Like, how many are there? 150. So I will break you into 50 groups. Like, okay, and you spend maximum 3 minutes and come back to me. The exercises activities, self-disclosure, and you will have two partners with you, including you. There will be 3 partners. You're supposed to share, use the stem I am, and you're supposed to reveal yourself. Feel free. This is a lab experience. So here I'm creating the group. Okay. Open all rooms. Yes, the rooms are open. Please join. Yes. Mr. Mohan, unmute their mics, please. You got your group members? Yes, fine. Go ahead. Go ahead. Your time starts now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Your time starts now. Samyukta, are you in my group? Unmute your mics, please. All of you unmute your mics. Some people have not joined. Yes, unmute your mics, please. Yeah. 25 PCPS 010, you have not joined. Dandabani, you have not joined. Yes. Mr. Anandrao, we have not joined. Yes, please join. Kirtana, you have not joined. Dorothy, Aishwarya. Dorothy has joined. Okay. Room number 20 is active. Yes. Paula Kumar, Hariharan, Soumita, you have not joined. Yes. Dr. Bharati, Divya Sridhan, you have not joined. Yes. 47. Divya Sridhar has joined. 154 has joined. Sanis has joined. Sandhya has joined. Okay. Catherine Nitya. Okay. Room number 30. Room number 29. Yes, room number 29. Yes. All of them have joined. Room number 29, 24. Yes. Okay, I'm going to close and I'm going to call you back.
Can I join by mobile? My mic is not working.
Yeah. All right. Kindly come on your videos, please. Kindly come on your videos. I saw, couple of groups were very active. Yes, Father Pradeep.
Yes.
How was your experience? Yes, yeah.
Only I was talking. She was not able to respond to me because she was not able to unmute. I think so. I was just
All were
sharing.
unmuted, yes. Yeah,
I was
Sandhya.
just sharing.
I saw the group where Shama. Shama, are you there? Shama? Okay. Let me see. Sandhya?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Sandhya, you can unmute, yes. Who all were your group members?
Sanish, sir. Our senior Sanish.
Okay. So how was your experience? Okay. अरे भैया माइक बंद करो भैया माइक बंद करो Shama come on the line.
Yes, sir. I was in room 30.
Yeah. I saw all the group members were actively participating. Yes, what was your experience?
And it was nice to share our experience with another person.
Yeah. Language.
And Miss Catherine also shared her experience and about them.
Okay.
She got
Did they come on the videos or how was it? They came on the videos?
No, sir, they didn't come on videos.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So participants, I want to tell you for the next, whenever I come for, sessions, make sure you come on the videos because there are a lot of activities that I want to engage you. I believe, I saw that many people did not join the group.
Actually, I feel my companion had a kind of a doubt whether this message will be seen by everyone or whatever we share, everyone will come to know. So kind of a doubt. I felt like that way.
Oh, I see. Okay. No. It's only among yourselves. Yeah, it's only among yourselves. Only 3 people will hear. Even I won't hear. Nobody can hear.
No. That hesitation was there somehow. I feel.
Hesitation was there. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to have one more activity. So please, yeah, this is a trial only. So after a little more presentation, I'll come back with another activity. So, so kindly keep your videos on and be ready. And those people who are not actually on classroom, please come back. Okay, all right. So let me continue with my presentation. Kindly mute your mics, please. All of you kindly mute your mics. Mr. Mohan, kindly mute your mics. Mr. Mohan, kindly mute their mics. Okay, moving on. All right. So we. So these are some of the dangers of hiding, dangers of concealment. We hide because of so many reasons. Like I just quickly go through this. Now, when we hide, what happens? We live a kind of impoverished interpersonal lives. And we are prone to experience a wide range of neurotic disorders like depression, anxiety disorder, phobias, all the even some of the personality disorders like borderline personality disorder, schizoid, schizoaffective, so many kind of neurotic disorders people experience. One of the psychologists, Moore, admits that psychological disorders can arise from genetic, you see, biochemical and ecological factors or any combinations. So people are uncomfortable. Why? And they behave dishonestly. Why? They behave irresponsibly. Why? Because they do not have proper emotional involvement with and concern for others. Simple as that. Now, how do we deal with these issues? How do we deal with these neurotics? Education. Education helps them to become honest, responsible, and involved. Actually, I am a specialist in REBT, Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy. It fits me very well to my profession as a teacher, like as a professor. So I teach people, and I follow what I teach. So deception has become the way of life, and the refusal to meet is at the root of disorder. Deception, everywhere, people deceive. Like it happens in all walks of our life. Very unfortunate. And people who over-invest in privacy and concealment is very stressful. So many times you cannot even get the ordinary information from some people. Now, how many people are at home, and where are you coming from? Like, some ordinary informations we cannot get from that because they are so scared to disclose. So every maladjusted person is the one who has not made himself known to another person. See, Father Pradeep knows the significance of confession. People go to priest and confess about their experience of shame, guilt, and whatever is it like. And at the end of it, what do they receive? The freedom, the catharsis, the relief. Now, everybody doesn't need to do such exercises, but what they are saying is that what psychologists are, you open your mind to another person, disclose, you will experience relief. Now, why do you get suffocated in your life? Why do you experience so much stress in your life? Open up, disclose appropriately. I'm not asking you to disclose everything, appropriate disclosure, so that you come out of these neurotic experiences. Like you're not in touch with the reality of life because you are concealing, you're hiding something. So therefore, psychologists, counselors, we need skills to help people so that they come out of these neurotic experiences in life. So being the part of the appropriate self-disclosure is a symptom of personality health and personality development. So appropriate self-disclosure helps people to experience a healthy personality, a healthy personality. Freud would ask people like, who is a healthy person? The answer is very simple. A healthy person is the one who plays, PLAYS, who works, WORKS, and who loves. Simple. So people who play, who enjoy, people who have fun, who can have fun, who can play. It's only people who have these skills. When you have these skills, you can develop your personality in a healthy way. Now I'm going to share with you some of the cultural blocks to self-disclose. Why people don't disclose? These are some of the dishonesty. You see, freedom to lie in the highest offices in order to advance their own cause. You ask the children, who is your hero? Yeah, they will point out. They cannot easily point out to some people. Like many students these days, they say their heroes are their parents. Like excellent, fantastic answer. Like, but then who is the leader? You ask them, who is the leader um, who you follow? Many students they come they are blank because we do not have we people have not experienced freedom in the what is it, the truthfulness in the highest level. Like many times we have to ask the question, is honesty a myth or fact? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you, there is only one way to be honest, but then there are tens, hundreds, thousands of ways to be dishonest. And we know that dishonesty is reaching beyond proportion, beyond our imagination. Why? Because people are not honest. Honesty has become a myth. It's become a story, not a reality. So therefore, culturally, people are so scared because whom to trust? We cannot trust. We can trust nobody. Like so, the next cultural block to self-disclosure is that pervasive psychologism. I already mentioned to you, like, see, we use psychology, we use psychological mechanisms, we use psychological testing, not to control human beings, like to give some indications about human behaviors. So what happens many times when the psychological testing is overstepped, it becomes pervasive psychologism. It enters into the key pervasiveness, like which is not a healthy symptom. Like now, another cultural block to self-disclosure: sexism and stereotypes. These days, senior citizens, we are so, on the one hand, proud. On the other hand, we are so insecure with the teenagers and adults who are so busy in the social media, with chatting, WhatsApp and whatnot. Yeah, it's a need. It's a need. Like they find it necessary to communicate to your friend, like, but they are not free. They get excuses to communicate to friends, like because of the fear of being misunderstood by the parents, friends and relatives and the society, like. And therefore self-disclosure is not encouraged. Family background: some families, they encourage self-disclosure, whereas others inhibit. So self-disclosure and other behaviors actually originate from a family. Now we see some of the resistance that happens in a group atmosphere, in a lab situation, because as counselors, as psychologists, where do we begin to practice all these, counseling skills? In a lab, situations, practicum. First, in the local places of education, then we send the students for practicum, then we send the students for internship. So I'm going to explain to you why resistance is experienced in many of the people, many of the beginning counselors, why resistance is experienced in the lab situation, why people are not really experiencing appropriate self-disclosure. Number one, the flight from self-knowledge, the fear of intimacy. One of the worst things that some people can imagine is that the flight from self-knowledge to know oneself. People are not ready to know oneself. Like the fear of intimacy, fear of human relations is greater than the fear of death. Suppose if I disclose myself to the other, and there is a fear of intimacy, I'm afraid that the other person may, come closer to me, and he or she will occupy the space that I am enjoying. Like, keep your space, but leave some space for the others to enter into our lives. That will make us, healthy people. Like reverse halo effect. What is it? Halo effect like? Many times there is a misconception. If someone is good in one area, that he may be or he should be good in all areas. So what people do, even good people, they don't volunteer to do good things, like because of the fear of reverse hollow effect. They will be called for anything and everything in the society, like. So people are considered as problems. Like then the problem of guilt and shame. We think we make people shameful. No, it is not. The root word of the word shame, what is the meaning? To uncover, to expose, and to wound. Expose to whom? Expose to self. Shamefulness, it is not exposition to others. It is an exposition to self. That's so frightening. That's so punishing. Like feelings of shame have to be recognized. And other resistance, fear of rejection. If other people really know me, they wouldn't accept me. If other people really know me, they will, judge me. And once they judge me, I'm afraid they would not accept me. The fear of rejection. Now, for all these resistance, the answer lies in one word. What is that one word? Appropriate self-disclosure. It's neither under disclosure of the D type nor the over disclosure of under disclosure of M type, over disclosure of D type, but it is the appropriate self-disclosure of the B type. Okay, criteria for determining the appropriate self-disclosure. Let me see. Yeah. So these are all some of the criteria. So the amount of information that you give, the intimacy of information, the amount of time spent in self-disclosure, to whom it is said, the nature of relationship, intimate friends, close friends, classmates, what situation, condition under which the disclosure is made. So criteria for determining appropriate self-disclosure. Like this is left, Joseph Love and Inham, the twins. They talk about the working criteria of self-disclosure. So when you self-disclose, there should be some goals, goal-directedness. And goal-directedness, should be appropriate to the risk that you're taking. Like. And in self-disclosure, there should be respect and an element of caring. Self-disclosure is not a one-time activity, it's an ongoing activity, it's a continuity of association. See, why people do not have friends? Because they have no continuity of associations. I meet you today, and after a month, I don't, I don't care. I don't respect to, meet you and talk to you. Disassociation. We do not have, friends because of disassociations, right? And mutual self-disclosure, is always in the mutual. And there is a timing for self-disclosure. Now, what is happening in people? It's just self-disclosure is not, it's not like, purple patches once a while. If you really want to develop, a relationship, you want to have an impact in the society, impact in the association, it should be, maintained. There should be some consistency. And self-disclosure should be here and now. It's always about here and now. It's not about the past. Of course, we talk about the past, but it's all about the here and now. So how it should be done, like gradual self-disclosure should be done with reasonable risk. The impact is, we cannot put bombs like, but don't shock people in self-disclosure like, and it should be in the shared in a context. And we also expect a response as a sign of reception and validation. When we self-disclose, and if it is done, properly, keeping all these, criteria, and we always get a response. There is no appropriate self-disclosure that goes without a response. And we maintain a balance in the picture. Like, okay. Activity 2, well, you don't have to go into the breakout rooms. This is an activity, you can do it on the screen, like, yeah. So what happens, these are all incomplete, sentences. So these incomplete sentences give you, help you as a stimuli for, self-disclosure. Okay, I am displaying this in the screen. Mr. Mohan, you can unmute the mics. You can unmute the mics. You can unmute the mics. Okay, fine. I'm going to read this in the sentences to you. Could you, whoever completes the sentence, you could unmute your mic and read out the sentence. One thing I really like about myself is
that I'm empathetic.
Excellent. May I know who is it?
I'm Dr. S. Jnana Saraswati from Madurai, sir.
Oh, very nice, very nice. I suppose you have answered for all this.
Yes,
Now,
excuse me, sir. Good evening, sir. I'm Sridevi from Chennai. Kerala College of Education.
Go ahead, yeah.
I really like about myself is my self-confidence. I'm ready to face anything.
Very nice.
So,
very nice.
So I have the self-confidence to do the work.
Very nice, yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your opportunities.
Okay, go ahead. Others, come quickly.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, one thing I like about myself is my perseverance and my resistance to forgive people, whatever they do. I just think about the positive attitude and forgive whatever mistake they do. I'm
very happy.
From,
very happy to. Yes.
Sir.
Okay. Yes.
Sir, one thing I really like about myself is I can spread positivity.
Okay, friend. Very nice. Dr. Samrita Roy. I know Samarpita Roy. She has attended many of my programs. So she is always very when she comes.
Good evening, sir.
And she spreads in the positive. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
One thing I really like about myself is my positive attitude, sir.
Very nice, yeah.
I dislike people who speak beyond me. Next one.
Good evening, sir.
Nobody likes. I always don't like people who talks behind me. I like people to, talk face to face. Like, yes.
Good evening,
let's
sir.
Go to, yes, yeah.
Yes. One thing I really like about myself is I always remain happy and also spread happiness with people, with my colleagues and students.
Very nice. I think
So
I've
they
seen you
even
for
named me. After 2 years in my college, they created a happiness and well-being committee. So they made me convener. They are like, you
okay,
always be
okay.
smiling and happy. So we see positivity from you. They tell me.
All right. So you are a symbol of positive psychology
Yes, yes.
or happiness psychology.
Yes. And I
Wonderful,
dislike
man.
people when they don't show discipline whenever they interact with anybody of any age.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Very nice. Yes. Anybody else?
One thing I really like about myself is non-judgmental.
Non-judgment. Yes. Very nice, Father. Yes. Thank you.
Uh,
Non-judgment. That's
One
one of
thing
the
I
key
really
qualities
like
of
myself is respect people, sir.
respect people. Yes. One of the good qualities of counselors, like respect. Yes. Okay. Very nice.
So one thing I really like about myself is not giving up.
Not
Giving up.
not giving up. Oh, very nice. Yeah. You're determined. Yeah. Determined
Sir,
to
good evening.
achieve something. Yes. Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, one thing I like about myself is me. I love myself a lot. And I try to travel along the way. But of course, there is always a difference between the practicality and the theoretical part. Of course, I go low at times, but I dislike people, and backbiting is always there in the workplace. But I just try to ignore and keep moving on and let it go. That concept I try to have. I have a companion to whom I share everything that is under the earth. So that
Very
keeps
nice.
me going.
So which means you belong to B type.
Yes, sir.
Right? Very nice, very nice. People who love themselves, they also have the capacity to love the others. And you have a companion to self-disclose and you experience a healthy person. Very nice, ma'am. Yes?
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
Myself, Divya.
Yes, good evening. Yes, yeah.
So, I dislike people for playing filthy politics, be it at any place, be it organization level or be it home or anywhere. And the next one, when people ignore me, I just don't care and let it go. That is always a
Okay.
positive mindset when we don't think about that ignorance, which will not create any kind of, or it will not hamper your mental health. So,
Very nice, very nice. I tell people, you care for those people who care for you. Why do you bother about people who ignore you?
yes,
Yeah.
it's like
So
just
we have no energy.
they don't deserve. Just be with the one who deserve you.
We save energy, right? We save energy. Good, very nice. Yeah. Good, very nice. Divya Sridhar. Yes?
Here am I. Here am I.
You can complete the other sentences also. Yes.
Sir, I dislike
Yeah.
people who play with emotions.
Wow.
Okay.
Who play with emotions.
To manipulate
When
emotions, yes.
Yes, when people ignore me, I am sad and dejected. When someone praises me, I am shy. Those who really know me as a happy-go-lucky person. When I relate to people, I get attached to them emotionally. The way I express my generosity to others is acknowledging them. My teachers are my idol. My principal is my symbol of discipline. My moods do swing, but I show it only selectively.
Fantastic. So you have completed all the sentences. Very
Yes.
nice.
So few more
Anybody
inputs
else?
from my end. Like my teacher for the past, it was my grandmother who was a principal, an ex-principal of an army school. And the present teacher of my life is my son, who's giving me day to day more things to learn on new Gen Z and Gen Alpha kind of stuffs. And my principle is keep learning every day as things change and evolve. Though you have learned is only a bit in the air or in the ocean. And my moods always never respond to the mood swings. It's always based on somebody else and the situation. So always keep smiling and take up the situation and work on it.
Okay. So
I would like to go from the bottom, sir. My moods do swing,
So
but
madam, kindly comment the video. We'd like to
yes,
see
sure,
you.
sure,
When
sure.
you comment the video,
Yeah, sure.
It's,
Yes, sir.
then it's clear. Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. And my moods I think for many of the women there will be mood swings because of our biological system, and I too do have, but I don't show it out. I go and talk to my plants in the garden. My principle is that to be very sincere and very much disciplined as much as possible, almost in all the cases. And my teacher, everyone under the sun is my teacher, including a fly, including a dog, or whatever it is. Everyone is my teacher because there is a lot many things to learn from every single organism under the sun. The way I express my generosity to others is to be true to them when they come to me, really true. When I relate to people, I normally don't get related to people. I try to be like single, and solidarity is my preference. So I don't relate myself much with people. And those who really know me, nobody knows anybody. So that is my philosophy and principle. And then when someone prizes me, I'm thankful to them, but at the same time I go away from them because I'm little afraid of people, though I could not understand whether it is genuine or it has some background or something. And when people ignore me, I'm really very happy when somebody ignores me, so that I can happily concentrate on my own so many productive things. I don't dislike people because I take people as they are, because everyone is different. Our own five fingers are different. So I normally don't dislike people. And I told you that one thing I really like about myself is I'm very empathetic. So thank you so much for the opportunity, sir.
About yourself is what, ma'am?
Empathetic. I'm very empathetic.
Empathic. Very nice,
Yeah.
very nice. Yeah.
Thank you
You
for
see
the
the different perspectives. So people are coming within different perspectives. And these sentences, they serve as stimuli for self-disclosure. Very nice. So we'll take up one more, the last one. We'll take up one more. Is there anybody else? Okay. All right.
I have two questions and doubts.
Yes,
for
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Time permits. So on the B
video,
needs,
please.
on the B needs, based upon the B needs and M needs, I'm not sure how to categorize. There was one statement where you have countered during the session, like when the students pass by, even though they can recognize you, they don't even smile. Taking that into an example, okay, I just went through to a student for a counseling session. I asked the student, "Do you have friends?" He said yes. Who sits next to you? Is he or she your best friend? He said no. Do you talk to him or her? If they talk, I talk. If they don't talk, I don't talk. It's not necessary they have to be my friends to talk with them. How to take this approach, sir?
So you are asking me the difference between the B needs and the D needs, or what?
No, sir, not the difference.
Yeah.
Not the difference. The kid is a Gen Z kid who is born by 2016 categories. And their mindset is like this only. If you come and talk, I will come and talk. Be it elders or be it known people to them, or even though they are very
close. Fine. I got you.
They give that kind of example.
Okay, all right. Now, basically, people, it's a cultural issue.
Okay.
You take, in some cultures, people take the initiative to self-disclose because they trust people, right? Whereas in some cultures, they don't trust people and they don't take the initiative, right? For example, it's not only your experience, but I have also experienced in my life many times. Like, if I take initiative, for example, I am in an association and there are a lot of people in the association. If I take initiative, they are so good to talk to me. The moment I don't take the initiative, they don't self-disclose. The thing is that it's a cultural, thing. It doesn't mean that they are purposely doing.
Okay.
But at the same time, we cannot say that they are ignoring us. Like, they do not have any malice in them. Simply because they do not have the skill. This is the answer. Simply, they do not have the presupposition. Simply, they do not have social skills. For example, I know you, and when you come to my college, definitely I will go forward because you have come to my place.
Yes, sir.
It's expected of me. So we may be living in the same place, like, and we come across people who matter to us, but at the same time they ignore us, like. Now, why they ignore us? It's not that we feel that they are ignoring us. It is not. It's just because they do not have that social skills, that they lack that social skills. Maybe because they have a lot of repressed things um, that might prevent them to exercise these social skills. Maybe their past experiences, maybe past experiences of not being respected, not being encouraged, and like that, things like that. It may be working in the undercurrent, like. So that may be another factor that is preventing them to really come into social life and exercise these skills. So the two things. One, they do not have the skills. Two, something that they have experienced in the past maybe preventing them to do this.
Got you, sir. Okay,
Okay.
sir. The last question for.
Yes, go ahead.
We were discussing about dealing with concealment related to this
Dealing with
question.
dealing with
Concealment. Concealment.
Oh, concealment. Yes, hiding,
Yes.
hiding.
Yes, sir. Sorry for
Concealment. Yes. Hide things.
mispronunciation.
We hide things. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So relating with the previous question itself, sir. So rapidly picking up a kid in a school kind of projection on psychological needs. When we go ahead and I acted as a stranger to the kid, literally acting as a stranger to the kid, asking the kid name, the kid told the name. The kid was unable to analyze being inside the school. The person is asking for the school name and the class. The straightforward answer from the kid was, why should I tell which class I'm studying? Why should I tell which school I am studying? What is your requirement here? So how to in which category we have to place this kid?
Basically, yes. This is a deficiency need, like, meaning she doesn't want to, disclose. I explained to you, these are all the simplest informations, and the kid is asking you, why should I, tell you?
No, the kid is
Who
even
are you?
unable to recognize standing in the same premises. We are asking the kid which school they are studying, but still they are unable to recognize that. But they upfront ask this question. So how to put them as an introvert or what we have to name it?
I said definitely. See, you are taking the initiative to develop a kind of association or rapport with the kid, like, and you want to help the. Probably you may have observed the kid, being lonely, being isolated, and not having friends. You may have observed. So therefore, you may have picked up that kid and ask her, where are you from, which class, and things like. Definitely, she doesn't want to disclose for the fear that you will come to know her. Maybe she tries to hide something from you.
No, she answered the question stating that I'll not answer these things to a stranger.
Okay, so then you should become familiar to her. Then she may answer you. Simple as that. So become friendly with her. So if she is not disclosing, you could easily self-disclose. You can introduce, hey, I am so and so. I am a teacher of this class. Yeah, it's a matter of taking the initiative from your part and making the child comfortable. Like,
got you.
One has to break the ice. Someone has to break the ice. But definitely, if you break the ice, the next day, the following day, or the next day, she will come searching for you. Where is that miss who was interested in me?
Okay.
Who asked me about my well-being? You see, one has to, break the ice. When you break
Got
the
you,
ice,
sir.
definitely the associations begin. When associations begin, the relationship also begins to, blossom.
Got you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, all right. Yes. So shall we call it a day? I suppose. Yeah. I'll meet you tomorrow with another topic, emotional disclosure. Very interesting topic. All right. So I want to tell the participants, please be in the class so that I will break you into different rooms and it will be an experience. Okay. So that's all I have to tell you. And good night, everybody.
Sir, attendance link has not been posted.
Don't worry about attendance. We have a strategy to have your attendance because we see, some people, though you enter your attendance, it's not recorded. So we have devised another strategy to maintain your record. Don't worry about the attendance. You participate in the class, your attendance will be taken care. Okay? All right. Okay, thanks for your comments. Yes, thank you for your comments. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It's a good session day.
அதனால இப்ப என்ன அதை போய் ஜெராக்ஸ் எடுத்து அதுக்கப்புறம் அது